Hi, State Senator Nathan Johnson here to talk to you about Medicaid expansion. You've heard a lot about Medicaid expansion lately. Some people are afraid to use the word. I'm not, because that's actually what it is. It's a federal program. It's been around since the 60s when Lyndon Johnson started it. Right now, it doesn't serve enough people in Texas. We need to expand it. 36 other states have done it. Why would we do it here? Because we can provide better care to more people for lower cost and grow our economy in the process. But how are you going to pay for all this wonderful stuff, you might ask? Well, that's an excellent question, because in Texas we have a constitutional requirement to balance the budget. So let's balance the budget. We got money out, expenditures, and money in, revenues. If we are going to expand Medicaid, it will cost money. There's ways to do this without it coming in the state budget money out, but let's assume for the moment that it's going to cost money out. And we're going to say that approximately it costs $1 to expand Medicaid. It's actually going to be more than that, but for purposes of this illustration, let's call it $1. Well, you might say we've got a problem here, because typically when you add up all these outgoing expenses and all your incoming revenues in Texas, it's got to add up to zero. The minuses and pluses, if you're doing interest, it's got to come out to zero. So when we have a new dollar out, we don't have a balanced budget anymore. But here's the neat thing. The economists who have looked at this, including preeminent economists in the state of Texas and economists around the country, have found by putting money into Medicaid, when you dedicate that money, when you spend it from Texas, it generates money back in on this side of the equation, and it knocks out some of the expenses over here. So the net result is, and that's why I've got these numbers over here, for every dollar that we spend on Medicaid expansion in Texas, we will see a return of $1.78 to the state government and $1.53 to local governments. To do some high-level arithmetic here, that looks like it adds up to $3.31. That's a 331% return on our investment over 10 years. Who's got 10 years? We've got to balance our budget every 2 years in Texas, but guess what? Only about the last third of this comes in the long term. The first 2/3 of it comes in the short term. So I'm going to take less than 2/3. Let's just take $2. Less than 2/3, and I got $2 in and $1 out. I'm up here at a +2. I'm at +1. I've not just balanced the budget. We're in the black, and we're treating more people, giving them better care at lower cost. We got to expand Medicaid in Texas. Tune in. Come see us this Sunday when we have a Medicaid expansion event, and we'll talk about the details. Thanks for listening.